Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit View Time. Today we've got something I normally don't do, but we got some Warhammer. So big thank you to Paul Norman who sent me this kit to basically do a review on and to build at some point as well. And I will do it before the end of the year. I can promise you that, Paul. I will do it. Anyway, as I said, don't really do Warhammer, for somehow I missed it all. Between modelling as a kid and then giving it up for life and then coming back to it, Warhammer came along around about that period in the middle. So I never really got into it and then came back into normal scale modelling. So somehow I've avoided it. I have done a couple of bits in the past with the kids and things like that, but it's something I haven't done. But this sort of floats my boat because it's futuristic, it's sci-fi, as you know, do a lot of 3D printed stuff, which then I paint and weather and all the rest of it. So not a lot of difference between doing that and this. So yeah, definitely something I thought we'd have a look at. So down in here, Warhammer 40,000. We've got a Dakkajet, I think you'd pronounce it. All right, down in there as well. So a big old kit, this particular one, as you can see. A couple of options, obviously, of doing it, as you can see on the back as well, with various turret configurations and various things going on there as well. All right, so again, I'm not into, Warhammer 40,000, so I know nothing about it, so I'm not going to, pretend I do and start, descriptions and things, because I haven't got a clue. All right, but anyway, as you can see, quick run round on the box. You can see it is made in the UK, which makes change in this day and age. So we've got some down in there, we've got a bit of picture on the side, we've got some blurb on there. As you can see, I'm looking for a kit number on this. I assume it must have a kit number as well, but I just can't see it for the life of me looking at this one, unless it's just known as One Miniatures. But there we go. Anyway, so in the box, which is still sealed, so we're going to need a bit of a knife to get in here. I will endeavour to get in. There we go. So we have tray, I think. There we go. Within the box. All right, and then in here we have all the parts, which look very nice and chunky. Okay, as always, we will start with the instructions. So you're in with this with me because I haven't got a clue. So again, it looks like we can actually do 4 types out of this one. So you want to pick which type you can actually do, all right? And then just going to be following along with it. So again, quite nice that they've color coded them. So we've got the blue, green, the pink and the yellow one, depending on which one you're doing, all right? So working your way through down in here, we've got the sort of fuselage section going on, tailplane being fitted. It looks like the skid on the front as well. And then obviously we've got the seat with a figure all being fitted down in here to the cockpit. And then again, depending on which versions you're doing and things like that, you've got the actual various sections going in right the way through on this one. So, all right. Then we've got the wings being fitted down in here, tailplanes, things like that, the usual bits and pieces. Cockpit set being fitted in. And then obviously you can be displaying that particular one just like that. Or version 2s, we've got the green one down in here as well. So we've got the rear turret, the various bits and pieces fitted down into this one, more of a bomber configuration, this particular one, all the way through with those ones, again, cockpit areas and being fitted up again. Or we've got the next version in. So again, similar type of setups in, it's just different versions going right the way through, cockpit dropping in, say the rear gunner is not turreted this time, he's open, but again, huge big bombs on there, just like that. And then obviously fitting them up. Or next version down in here, you can see with the yellow, slightly different configuration down in here because of the tails with the gun system and all the bits and pieces down on the back as well. So again, completely retro looking, that one right the way through. And then obviously I assume this is your color callouts and your scoring guide down in there on the back as well. All right. So looking at the parts, big chunky sprues. All right, I am just going to drop the top camera in just a little bit. So big chunky plastic compared to what we're perhaps normally used to, but obviously these are used to being handled and stuff. The details really nice, sharp, crisp, no problem at all with any of those ones. So fuselage halves, you can see, look very, very nice. It's very akin to be 3D printed stuff because it's a bit more chunky. Again, looking very nice all the way through with all the different panels and parts you can do. And again, right the way. Now I know whilst my Citadel nippers are so chunky, because the plastic and the sprue gates are huge. I won't be doing them with my best god hands, put it like that. So, but again, that's what it's all about. It's more chunky, more solid, designed to get you building, painting and weathering, and then getting you onto playing. Whoops, there's the stand. So, next up down in here, nice little guard there. Got a guard there for the nose, which is very nice. And again, all the various parts in here, good, solid. It feels absolutely solid, this stuff. So, again, we can run it on the parts, you can see. Very nice indeed. Good, chunky, solid going through on these. And again, down on the back, the locating tabs and sprue tabs are big and chunky as well. As I say, now I understand why it gets on well with the junior modelers. I'm not going to say kids because we're all big kids, but it makes more sense now. All right, so again, we've got weapons. No skid, I presume that was. Exhaust stacks, rockets, bombs, and again, really nice sharp. That's really sharp. Crikey, that's proper pointy and sharp, that is. You have somebody's eye out with that. I could get splinters. Very nice as well. And then we've got another sprue, obviously, because of the different configurations. Good, solid, with all the details down in here. Very much with the access to that sort of steampunk retro type look for it. Very nice indeed. You also get, we've got proper decals. These aren't stickers, they are decals with the markings for the clans. Looking very good indeed. They're nice. And then obviously we get a stand for it. So how does the stand fit the stand? Yeah, I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. I will say I won't forgive my ignorance about this because I know nothing at all. Actually, that's going to bug me. Hold on. Where's the thing? Does it say about the stand? Stand down in here. Perhaps that's a tab just needs removing. Perhaps that's a sprue tab that you just need to cut this tab off the bottom. I thought it was like a slot in and do it, but it's showing it in here. It just push down. Okay, fair enough. Remove that. All right, and then last up, we've got the clear parts, which again, they're not as, you know, crisp and refined. They're a little bit blurry in that, but obviously you're not looking for that level of sort of cockpit detail. They look a little bit scratched. They have been floating around here. None of this is bagged as well, which probably doesn't help, but they're certainly not like a polished mold that you might find on a normal sort of standard styrene kit that we're used to from other manufacturers. So again, it doesn't surprise me because this is the big thing. It's not designed for the detail. And I'd say, I don't want to say too much about this because I know nothing about Warhammer 2000. And in the past, I've upset other groups by building their stuff and apparently doing an appalling job of it. So that's why it terrifies me to do these reviews at stuff I know absolutely nothing about. But Paul sent it to me and asked me to do it. So that's why I'm doing it. My wife, on the other hand, would love me to build nothing more than this because she's the biggest Henry Cavill fan, and she thinks by some way if I start doing this, he's going to become a friend and we'll start modelling and stuff together and she can meet him. Yeah, there we go. But I must admit, it's really nice. It's big, it's sci-fi. If you know me, I do a lot of, I have one down in here. Just show you a couple of chunks of it. I do a lot of 3D printed stuff. If you can guess what this is, you get a bonus point. All right, so but yeah, so I do a lot of this type of stuff, and this is 3D printed, and I do it. So when I see this and that, it looks very, very similar, and all the rest of it. So from that point of view, I get it massively because I'm well into this. Never really done anything like this before. don't think I've ever done a Warhammer anything bigger than a set of figures before. So yeah, this is a complete new one on me. So if you want to see me build this one, comment down below, and I'll hopefully get it done before the end of the year. And if it goes well, I'll put it as a freebie out on YouTube as well. The rest of you can see me make a complete idiot of myself trying to do something on this scale. Anyway, that's it from me. So big thank you to Paul Norman as well for sending me the kit. This is the Warhammer, I'm going to call it Dakkajet. Looks to be absolutely fantastic. And if you're into Warhammer, it's got to be a must, isn't it?